Battle Through the Heavens, Grand World. Chapter 147 The Spring of Soul Accumulation. After saying that, Li Daoyuan took out a bluestone seal and placed it in front of the fluorescent screen. A groove automatically appeared on the fluorescent screen and absorbed the bluestone seal. In the next moment, the brilliance on the fluorescent screen dissipated. The bluestone door behind also slowly opened. The door flickered with a flowing light, isolating everything inside from the outside world. Li Daoyuan walked forward and placed his hand on the flowing light. Under Xiaoyan's surprised gaze, the light gradually dissipated, revealing a heart-piercing black scene. After following Li Daoyuan into the bluestone door, the scene in front of them suddenly changed. The spring water appeared on the ground, and the surrounding was still filled with endless spatial turbulence, causing people to tremble in fear. The color of the spring water was pure black, and anyone who looked at it would feel as if their soul was sinking into it. When Xiaoyan's soul energy touched the spring water, he couldn't help but feel a warm feeling coming from the depths of his soul. This spring water is called the spring of soul accumulation, and it has been nurtured. The effect of strengthening the soul is that some of us alchemists who have reached the level of illusory souls have immersed our soul energy into the soul springs for a long period of time. The time it takes for the soul origin to form the pond water is around 4 years. As a reward for the champion, the pill competition will hold it every 5 years. Li Daoyuan looked at the spring water in front of him and introduced it to Xiaoyan. After you go in, he said, soaking your soul energy into the bottom of the spring will strengthen your soul energy. During this process, because you are absorbing the soul origin that does not belong to you. In order to transform them into your own soul, you need to forcefully transform them. Thus, your soul will feel extreme pain. The longer you spend, the more painful it will be. The deeper the pain, the more benefits you'll receive. Li Daoyuan looked at Xiaoyan and smiled. Do you know how long the previous champion lasted? Seeing Xiaoyan shake his head in confusion, Li Daoyuan stretched out a finger and said, less than 2 hours. Before you all, which year's most outstanding champion was captured by the law enforcers of Nether Domain, so they had no choice but to give the champion second place. He was a fellow who could refine a grade 5 1-star medicine pill, and had persisted for nearly 4 hours. With your ability, I think you can persist for at least 6 hours. At that time, your soul will definitely have a significant improvement. After saying that, Li Daoyuan patted Xiaoyan's shoulder, turned around, and left. When the stone door closed, Xiaoyan looked at the black spring in front of him. The pool water was so calm that there were no ripples. Even though the surrounding space was flowing rapidly, it did not have any effect on this place. Feeling a trace of warmth coming from his soul, Xiaoyan did not hesitate anymore. He took off all his clothes and slowly stepped into the spring. He stepped into the spring as if he had stepped into a void. He was in the depths of the pitch-black spring, but he couldn't feel any trace of water on his body. The strange feeling also made Xiaoyan click his tongue in wonder. He sat down cross-legged and followed Li Daoyuan's instructions. His soul was released from between his eyebrows, entering the bottom of the pool without holding anything back. Instantly, a warm feeling rose from Xiaoyan's heart. His soul felt as if it was floating in the air. Xiaoyan couldn't help but moan. A trace of laziness spread out from the deepest part of his heart. It was as if his soul was lying on a comfortable bed, enjoying the ultimate softness and comfort. Xiaoyan regained his senses and looked at his chest. There was an extremely dim dark golden word there. If one didn't look carefully, one wouldn't be able to find it. At this moment, this dark golden word was unexpectedly hidden in his chest. It had no intention of coming out and having fun. This is strange. Logically speaking, the prestige power spell will assimilate with the soul. When the prestige power spell absorbs the frenzied key, the soul will feel pain, and when the soul is strengthened, the prestige power spell should also be able to sense it. Looking at the faint dark golden words on his chest, Xiaoyan remembered what Elder Yi had told him, and couldn't help but feel a little strange. When he recalled Kai Shui's heavenly sovereign key when he entered the palace, his soul immediately felt an extreme pain. At that time, the prestige power spell should still be full of energy, and that was when the pain in his soul suddenly stopped. When he tried to feel the prestige power spell, he felt as helpless as a stone bull entering the ocean. Xiaoyan furrowed his brows. Suddenly, he remembered something. He stared at the big word on his chest and couldn't help but exclaim in joy. Could it be that he has absorbed enough ki and has begun to hibernate? He remembered that he had asked Elder Yi how he could stop the prestige power spell from absorbing the ki. The answer Elder Yi gave him was the ki that he needed this morning. The prestige power spell would naturally fall into hibernation and evolve to a higher level. Thinking of this, Xiao Yan immediately relaxed. Although the prestige power spell was of little value to him now, when he was facing the pressure of some powerful warriors, at least, it wouldn't make him look like he was in a difficult situation. After solving the doubts in his mind, Xiao Yan focused all his attention on strengthening his soul. Soon, in his consciousness, his soul gradually became more focused. The fatigue caused by concocting pills had completely disappeared, and what replaced it was an even stronger vitality. At the same time, during the process of strengthening his soul, Xiao Yan felt a needle-like pain in his soul. However, Xiao Yan, who had been tempered by the prestige power spell for a long time, naturally didn't care about this pain. He was still in high spirits and focused on strengthening his soul. This is the reason why I want to ask Xiao Yan about some things. If he really advanced to the Fighting Ki continent, he must know about the Shao clan in the lower realm. This will be a great help to the clan, and it can also solve the doubts of some of the elders in the clan. In the main hall, Xiao Wang spoke in a deep voice. He told Xiao Yu everything that happened. Xiao Yu was dumbfounded when he heard everything. Even though his father had told him everything himself, Xiao Yu still found it hard to believe. It took him a long time before he finally spoke. But, what if he did not break through to the Fighting Ki continent? Impossible. The moment he spat out his blood essence and fused with the medicine pill, I could clearly feel a trace of throbbing in his bloodline. Although it is much weaker than the bloodline connection between you and me, it is definitely the connection between the Shao clan. Xiao Wang said resolutely. But, father, according to what you said, there hasn't been a single fighting monarch appearing in the Fighting Ki continent for 10,000 years. Perhaps that continent no longer exists. Even if it does exist, the fact that there hasn't been a single fighting monarch in the past tens of thousands of years is enough to explain a lot of problems. How could Xiao Yan know about it? Xiao Wang sighed and said, this is exactly the question I want to ask him. Something must have happened here. According to the ancient records of the family, in the Fighting Ki continent in the past, not only our Shao clan, but also many superpowers in the great world. Those who went were the geniuses among them, with their bloodline and their descendants' bloodline, but now, not a single fighting monarch has been produced. I can't help but suspect. Xiao Yan, who had calmed his heart and cultivated his soul, finally felt a trace of unbearable pain from the depths of his soul. It was as though a raging flame was burning. Xiao Yan's face finally changed a little. It hurts. But, compared to the damage caused by the peak of the prestige power spell to his soul, it's still a little easier. Clenching his teeth, Xiao Yan sucked in a breath of cold air. His voice trembled as he muttered to himself. After that, he took a deep breath and forced himself to calm down and continue cultivating. Gulp, gulp, gulp. The black spring water surged violently as though it was boiling over with the flow of time. Xiao Yan, who was sitting within it, had an extremely flushed face. Sweat continuously flowed down from his body. Due to the pain, veins bulged on his forehead and neck. His originally delicate and pretty face had now become extremely ferocious. Outside the stone door, Li Daoyuan raised his eyebrows and looked at the stone door with some surprise. It had been 8 hours, but he still had no intention of coming out. This guy had actually persisted for such a long time. Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.